It's the place you go when you finish your show. We're your two best friends. Our names are Max and Ben. We're self-proclaimed television experts. It's Reality Alert. And here's a guy who's always on time. It's Shubham.
What's up? It's Shoe Tray, Shoe Dragon. What's good?
Whoa, Shoe Dragon.
Whoa, that Shoe Dragon is here.
We'll see.
We'll see about that.
We'll see.
We'll see. I love that. Wow.
Hey, you said it.
Wheelie
Shubby. Wheelie Shubby.
I thought it was like a modern day Othello moment. So.
Oh, wow.
Modern day Othello moment. Can you tell us about that? What makes it a modern day Othello moment?
No, I just think no bias, but whoever just said that we'll see, like it's so clever. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's like Shakespearean.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
That is interesting because
you got to dig deep for that one. You really do.
Yeah. But this is particularly interesting because during a certain punishment, you said that a line from Shakespeare was written by Taylor Swift.
You know what? I don't remember that, but I would say that it was a good guess.
So it's more Swiftian then.
Yeah, Swiftian. That's the way you're.
You know what? I thought it was Taylor Swift because it sounded like Shakespeare. I thought it was like a bluff, but it turned out it was like a double bluff. So.
Oh.
Well, Taylor, she is the most beautiful lyricist ever, right up there with Paul McCartney. So we believe it.
Ben, you're gonna get us canceled. Please watch that. Well, Shubham, we are so excited to have you here on this sunny Wednesday morning. How are you doing today?
I'm doing incredible. It's so good to see you guys. It's been a minute, but yeah, it's so good to see you guys as always. And yeah, new day, same us. I love it.
Yes.
Is this a new thing that you're doing?
That was cool.
Yeah, this feels good.
Yeah.
Last month, so today it feels like this. You know what
I mean?
Oh,
sick.
Now, speaking of this, so have you abandoned this? Have you abandoned the Spider-Man?
No, I still do that. So I'll do like this if I'm like, psh, psh. If someone's like talking a lot, I'll be like, psh, psh. Or if I'm like, you know what I mean?
We did notice in one of the setups for your cabin, you guys did like the Spider-Man to the camera.
Yeah,
and we were like, we know who orchestrated that.
No, that means a lot. No, I think that means a lot. Yeah, I felt good when we were in unison in that. But I think when the Bears did it that moment, we were unstoppable.
You guys were in so many wins. And remember,
great responsibility.
I want you, Shubham, to remember, and everybody to remember.
With great power comes great responsibility, just like Spider-Man.
That's huge.
Yes! Yes!
Yes!
Woo!
Just remember that.
Sick.
So should we talk Battle Camp today?
I'd love that.
Unless anybody else, I don't want to be a dictator here. So if anybody else has something they want to talk about, we can talk about other
circle singles. Let's talk circle singles.
Long live Sasha. Long live Sasha.
Let's revisit all that.
Yeah, let's do that.
Shuby's favorite topic.
I'm not a fucking man.
I still think that Revolution move was brilliant. Like years later,
it was fun.
It was fun.
A lot. Thanks, you guys.
It was great TV. We loved it.
It's a lot.
All right, so you get the call that you're going to be in Battle Camp. What did you do to train, Shuby?
Ooh, that's a good. Do you mean like physically or like holistically?
Both. What did you do to train?
That's a good. Honestly, like before it happened, I just tried to keep sharp, so I would like go on walks that were long, so like more than 1 mile. I would do like. No, honestly, it was like
this sounds intense. Okay.
Hey, the pedometer punishment. He beat it, Ben.
You did 5 push-ups.
He was trudging.
No, honestly, you know what it was? The big thing was I just tried to work on my endurance, so like walking or like stretching, and then I would do those like puzzle games on the iPhone just to like keep the mind a little bit sharp as much as I can. And the big thing was just going into the game, just like trying to have fun and try to course correct from season 5 of The Circle. And And I appreciate you guys because I've been listening to the pod and you guys talked about that, how there was a little bit of like a adjustment after circle singles. So yeah, so it was fun. It was a fun time.
What did you think the adjustment was after circle singles?
I think circle singles, I came in a little late, so I felt like I had to like make moves and try to like spearhead people and take people to the promised land of victory. But this time I'm like, you know what? I feel like there's gonna be people who are just gonna try to like take over and like let people do what they have to do. Let me just have fun. Let me treat it like summer camp. Like I feel like that's true to who I am. And so I just try to play more of like a season 1 game. Like I feel like it's more of who I am. And yeah, no revolutions this time. So
yeah, I feel like it definitely worked out for you the best. How so of the 3, how would you rank your experiences on reality television so far?
Ooh, good question. No, I love. They've just been 3 killers. Honestly, I've loved all of them. They've all been so fun.
So circle singles is still tied for first.
Are you not going to rank one? You're going to say great, but you're not going to go 1, 2, 3 for us.
You're so political, Shubby. This is the governor in you.
No, that means a lot. No, I mean, this one was sick because I knew some of these people. I knew, I knew of some of these people before the show. Like I met them before, right? So that was super sick. And like getting to play with people in person is so fun. And it's like kind of like it was like such a first thing, like all these challenges, and we're like in this camp environment. So that was super electric. The circle was so incredible as well. So both are up there.
Shuby, I want you to rank each battle camp contestant on how much you liked them versus how much you didn't like them. So just start with 1 to, you know, however many characters there were on the show.
From sick to unelectric. Can you rank them?
Okay. Okay, so should we just say them? Okay,
you can start with the ones you hate.
Them.
I can start with the ones you hate.
No, honestly, I love them all. I would put sick as all of them. You know what I mean? They're so electric and so good. No, but honestly, this is such a political answer, but they were all so great and they're all so cool. And like, I feel like what you see is what you get with all of them. And yeah, it was sick because all these people that come from their shows are like so dope. So like to play this game with them here, it was super fun. So
can't get a straight answer out of this guy. Rank the Spider-Man movies for fuck's sake or something. I don't know.
No, they're all sick and they're all
they're all electric.
We do have a listener question here. Listener Maria wants to know: did you practice spelling?
I feel like an eco idiot. Did I practice spelling? I forget. But you know, that was a tough moment. And it's crazy if I spelled ecosystem right. I was thinking about it a little bit the other day. How different the game would have ended up. You know what I mean? The Bears would not have dismantled. There wouldn't have been like no spoilers, but yeah, I feel like a lot of it would have been evaded if ecosystem was spelled right.
Ecosystem, advantage. Yeah, these were all.
Yeah, they are tough. I will say, like,
these were key losses.
Yeah, that's a key point. But like, I feel like, honestly, like, I hear ecosystem. It's not a word you usually have to spell. You know what I mean? It's kind of a tough word if you think about it.
Yeah.
You keep telling yourself.
I mean, I really care about the environment, so I spell it a lot, but you know, that's just me.
No, me too. I'm a huge, I love the environment. You know, so
sounds sarcastic about the environment. We're clocking that.
No, I honestly, I'm huge. I love nature. I'm a huge nature person.
So you get on the bus and you meet Avery, QT, and Geo. How are you feeling about your team?
Good. I mean, I feel super good. I think I was stoked about QT. I never knew her before, but like she had such a warm energy. She was wearing orange and I was wearing orange. So I just felt like Halloween vibes, like we were matching on that, and there was like a synergy naturally from there. Her season in the circle didn't come out, but I felt like we already had a bond from the circle. I felt like we just had a connection there as well. So I was stoked about QT. Avery I knew of, and I knew Avery and we kind of knew of each other, so I was stoked about that. And Geo seemed super dope as well. So I was super happy about the team. I felt like the team was super team was super good. So I was stoked about the Bears. And I love blue.
Do you frequently think about things in terms of holidays?
Yeah, I was gonna have
6 slots in the wheel already filled up by all of us.
Ooh, Mickey!
Then another 2 for the
Christmas. Oh my god, no, you're right. Maybe I do.
You also commented it looks like Christmas when you first saw the wheel, and you saw the bright light.
Yeah, no, I think you guys are right. I didn't the holiday of life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, should we rank your holidays?
Oh, I'm a big
Starting with
Christmas and
President's
Halloween.
Day.
I like Christmas and Halloween are up there for me.
Okay, all right,
Okay.
And Thanksgiving's up there then.
okay. But they're all electric though, right?
They're all electric. I'm a big like New Year person sometimes, and then leap year I go crazy. So
Hell yeah,
yeah.
it's electric.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
How about you guys?
Whew. I gotta go. You know, Christmas is up there pretty high.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lent is really up there for me. It's really high. Yeah.
President's Day is pretty big.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
I'm a
big
big President's
one.
Day guy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's huge.
So yeah, Rosh Hashanah, big one. up
I
there
don't
for
like
me.
New Year's Eve, but I like New Year's Day, the holiday.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
I'm a big New Year's Day guy.
Yeah.
I'm a big Black Friday, Cyber Monday boy. So
Oh,
nice.
Cyber Monday, that's electric.
let me thank you for noticing. Thank you.
Yeah.
You guys,
recognize that for
I
you.
forgot one of the best holidays, Prime Day, right?
Oh my
Prime Day is
god.
upcoming.
my
Prime
God.
Day is upcoming, in my opinion.
Prime Day is sick.
It's
It's electric.
phenomenal.
It really
Lots
is.
of love for Prime Day. It gets me super sick and excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree.
Shuby, why did you do the strength part of the first challenge? You said you were, quote, suited for it. You came in last.
Yeah.
You came in last.
No, first of all,
Did the walking training not help when you did an extra mile?
Your little
those
puzzle apps
ropes
didn't
were
help.
so heavy, by the way, but it was so fun. No, you know what it was? It was almost like a balance of like compromise as well. Because like Geo, I felt like the kayak and swimming just felt like Geo was perfect for that. Avery had the balance there. So it was coming down to like it just felt like people liked the stations they were at, and I felt like QT so intelligent, so she was good at the puzzle. So I think it came down to like mine was like a compromise thing, and I think like the ropes were super fun. It was just tough because I couldn't find the flag. I kept looking and I was picking them up, but I couldn't find it. But I mean, now that I think about it, it kind of did make sense. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, you didn't lose.
yeah, that's true. Destiny had its own way, so that means a lot. Thank you, bro.
For the audience listener, Shuey was slyly flexing for the camera as he was saying that, just so you know.
Yeah, thank you for catching.
Yes, I don't want to miss it. Can you talk to us about when you said this?
I'm stoked and I'm swimming like Nemo.
Tell us about swimming like Nemo.
Yeah, it was more of a state of mind, but I think after I got the ropes and I was like, I just tried to channel Nemo, so I felt like I was looking very.
You were lost.
Yeah, I felt like I was looking very aquatic, like Nemo.
Right.
Okay.
All right. So you're Nemo. Who's Marlin, your father, looking for you in that challenge?
That's a great question.
Careful.
It's a good question. I don't know.
They're also electric.
It's Nick. He's not there
You
yet.
can't
But it's
choose.
Daddy Nick.
Maybe,
But it is
at
Daddy
that
Nick.
moment, I felt like Geo because he's on my team. I was trying to
Okay. Yeah.
find
Good.
him.
Yeah. That's sick.
Yeah, it's sick.
Why didn't you feel the snot on your face? And how
Dude.
did you feel about the snot's reception?
I love it. I thought that was so funny. I think it's like that was first of all, I thought that was so funny. You know what it was? I was so behind in the ropes. I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh my god, I've screwed this for the Bears. Like the bad news Bears. This is everything happening. We're gonna get dismantled. And I got out and I was like, oh no, I hope we catch up. I didn't even feel anything. I didn't notice anything, but I guess it was there. But I love it. I think it's so funny. I think it's so great.
It was raw. It was raw.
Yeah, it was real. It was real. So it was sick.
How was that piggyback ride from Taylor at the end
It
of
was
the
so
challenge?
That must have been great.
It was so good. I was a little tired after that rope thing. So just to have that exhilaration of a piggyback ride from Taylor, that was super dope. Taylor's great. So that was super fun.
You and Taylor had kind of a special bond. I'm going to play this real quick.
Are we going to be bunk buddies? That'd be super sick.
Can you talk about your special bond with Taylor?
Yeah, no, Taylor's just such a cool guy. Honestly, like he's so fun and he's like his banter's so great. And he's like a really cool guy. Between like, when we're not filming and he was just hanging out. He's so cool as well. So yeah, me and Taylor really got along. He's super cool.
Oh, why do you think Taylor failed to bring that personality to the show?
No, he did. He was
No,
so
he
great.
didn't.
Yeah, he did. Taylor was so great. I thought Taylor was so great, and like he was so fun, and his banter was there. I thought he killed it. He was such a great host.
I've seen him on socials. He is great. He's like
He's
very
so good on
animated and stuff. But
socials.
he's much more subdued on the show. He's much more like in host. In like
No, I think he
professional
did a really good
mode.
job. I think he had to like with the show's format and like the personalities. I think he did a great job. I thought he killed it.
You're biased, Shuby.
No, but I mean it no bias. I thought he was a great host. He was so great.
I think that it wouldn't be bad to bring him back for a second season where he'll be more comfortable being, you know, like a host. Like I'm not ready to let go of Taylor. I think he has a lot of potential. I'm not.
Yeah, I thought he was great. So as long as he does the same, or like he'll keep killing it. So absolutely, he was great.
How did you feel about Tony saying that he had a more explosive personality than you?
Ooh,
Oh, so
yeah.
funny.
He said he was you with a more explosive personality.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, he is more explosive personality, but I think I have the more explosive jawline. So I think.
Oh,
They actually didn't show, but when I love Tony. He's so funny. I remember, I think when I voted for him, I felt so bad. I was like, Tony, you deserve a Tony for all your performances.
That's good. That's so good.
It's so good. He's so funny.
That's sick.
That's sick.
At the first vote out, the Bears put all the votes on Lexi in order to save Avery. Lexi goes home. How are you feeling at this point in the game?
Yeah, I felt bad about Lexi. One love, sister. I did feel bad about Lexi though. At this point,
you pointed up like she's dead too.
No,
R.I.P. Lexi.
R.I.P. Lexi.
No,
You will be
bad.
missed forever.
What up? What up? I don't know. I felt like challenge-wise, this could be tough because I don't know. I felt like the other teams were. I was just scared of us like losing continuously, so I was a little scared about that after like the first elimination. But I also felt good, like survived the first one, and I also felt like this is good. You don't have QT on the team. I feel really good with her. I have good connections with Gio and Avery as well, and did feel like I felt bad for Avery, but it did feel like honestly, if the Bears were ever up for an elimination, then that would be. It felt like if I was reading the room right, it felt like Avery was going to be the first that people would go after.
Okay.
Were you threatened by Avery's punishment where she had to squat for a minute? Did that threaten you at all?
No, I thought it was sick. I thought it was good fun. She killed it.
Yeah.
Did you practice that at all? The squatting against a tree?
I don't think so. Actually, I think I walked by a tree, but I didn't squat.
Well, that's close enough.
Yeah, I agree.
So we get to the next challenge, the one where we all stand
Build
on the
tree. Sorry.
What about a tree?
No, it was a pun.
What'd you say?
Oh, sorry. You cut out. What were you saying?
Ben,
No, you got to say it.
What did you say?
No, I said wheel tree. Like
wheel tree. Oh my
wheel
god.
tray.
That's sick. This is like alien lingo.
That's so funny.
So at the next challenge where you all stand on planks and somebody's in the hut, QT was in the hut for you. You aren't voted biggest ego. You're not voted biggest game player or most attractive, but you are voted.
I'm getting my growth spurt soon, so I just want to preface.
Yeah. But you are voted best ally. How did you feel about how that challenge went, and how did you feel about getting the win?
Yeah, I was stoked. Honestly, I felt like it just felt like the Bears. I think the four of us had a really good rapport at that point. Like whether it was like us hanging out in the cabins, I felt like we really knew each other as people, and I thought we killed it. I really thought like that was a challenge that really like demonstrated that we knew each other well, and it felt like the tides were turning. So I was super stoked we won that. It felt like we were starting to get momentum.
Were you concerned being labeled best ally at all?
No, you know what? I was super stoked. I was like honored QT said that because like the fact she said that like reinforced like the relationship we had with each other. I just think me and QT did a great job of like really subduing like our relationship to people. So even though like best ally could mean like we are super close, which we were, I think there were so many other people like to look at that it would just chill in.
Well, I feel like that's something you must have done particularly well, and we were wondering about on the podcast. I know that you listened, so we talked about this, but for everybody who hasn't listened, but you should go back. So we talked a lot about how Chase and Kyle caught a lot of flack for their very open alliance.
Yeah.
But we saw you and QT had a very close relationship, and then also we saw you and Nick talking publicly at the same time that Chase and Kyle were talking publicly, but they got all the attention. So can you talk about how you were able to reduce your threat level even with an alliance between you and somebody on another team?
Yeah, no, 100%. I think the thing is I didn't really like talk strategy so explicitly in front of people, like in group settings or individual settings. I mean, I did, but like I think I didn't go out of my way to target people or like come up with stuff. So I was just kicking it. So I think that was one thing. Also, when I did do strategy, I tried to make sure like vantage points, people couldn't see me talking to people. Like I would just be chilling. And I think Kyle's mistake, there was one time where Morgan went out, which was super sad. Usually what happens after a vote out is all the teams will go with their own team to the cabin to like commemorate the loss. And when Morgan left, it was super sad. It was me, Kyle, and QT. So we're all going back to our cabin, me, Kyle, and QT. But Kyle stays at the campfire with Chase. And then our team is looking at him from the windows, me and QT. And me and QT are like, yo, why is Kyle sitting there? He should come with the Bears. And then the Eagles or the other team, they go swarm Kyle asking him about the vote. So it's like all of the other team and Kyle at the campfire. So I think Kyle just needed a little more finesse with that.
Yeah.
It seemed like that throughout. Like QT seemed a little on edge by Kyle's sort of more brazen moves.
Yeah. And I think Kyle just loved the captain thing, which I get. And I think I just felt bad for Kyle because our team wasn't winning. I felt bad. But, I love brothers.
You and QT seem to have like a similar style of gameplay as like Lorenzo and Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed. Did you guys often consider linking up with those two? Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, I was super close to Lorenzo and Georgia the whole show. Actually, I knew Georgia before the show. Actually, like we were friends and we met, so I was actually super stoked when I saw Georgia off the bus. So like from the beginning, I was super close with Georgia. Lorenzo, I was super close with. I thought he was so funny. Like I told him when I saw him, because I saw him in Squid Games. I thought Lorenzo was so funny. So got along really well with both of them. QT did as well. I feel like beneath the surface, there was kind of like a read between the lines, like the four of us that got each other. You know what I mean? Like it was like we're not explicitly like the final four, but we're like a four that like are with each other. So we did feel that, especially towards the second half, like it was starting to really come together.
I think QT told us about that a little bit. So let's get to the wheel spin where Irina goes in a blind side and she goes home. How do you feel about how all of that went down with Irina?
Yeah, I love Irina. She's so amazing. I felt obviously like I felt bad for Irina. It was sad, but she's so great, and I'm glad I got to play the game with her. So
that's so diplomatic. How do you feel, Shuby? How do you feel? Did you feel bad about how it went down?
No, I felt sad that Irina went home that time. So.
You don't have to feel sad. Were you like, okay, that's how the game goes? Like, well, how did you feel, Shuby? We want to know how you felt.
Did you cry? You said you felt sad. Did you cry?
I felt sad. I really did. Like I think Irina was starting to get momentum there. So I feel like if she survived that, I think she could have gone a long way. It was just that one pivotal moment, you know.
Did you break any doors off of hinges after Irina got out of the game?
Just the door of life.
Oh my god. Whoa.
Oh my god, I'm effed. Yeah.
So we get to the Mask the Misery challenge next. How did you sell this, quote, hot dog from hell, end quote, so well?
Yeah, you crushed that.
Yeah,
dude,
you
crushed
that,
much.
bro.
I appreciate it. You know what it was? Honestly, I just felt like, I feel like if I got something, I was talking, like, I'm like, you know what? I can't hide this at this point. Let me just do what I do well. Let me just have fun with this and treat it like a little game. You know what I mean? And I just thought like, let me have fun and make this so over the top. And like with the adrenaline, it's gonna look so funny. Like I don't think people will actually think if I do have it. So I just try to have fun with it and like make it completely over the top. And in a way, tell the truth and let people decipher what they want with that. And it was so fun.
I will say you laughing throughout eating it, I think helps sell it.
Yeah.
Oh, it means a lot. Yeah, I just thought honestly, like just having fun with it and like that's who I am and just laughing with it. Like who would think it's like actually, you know what I mean? Like
how hot was it? Was it pretty bad?
Yeah, it's tough because you're in that setting, so you feel the adrenaline, so you're not feeling like it's so crazy. It was like mild. I think it was mild for sure.
Oh, okay.
After, but
So it wasn't that bad. All right.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
Did Louis ever confirm for you if he made love or not? We didn't see his answer when you asked him.
You know what? I feel like you'll have to ask Louis, but I love Louis. Louis is my boy. That's another person who's so incredible. Louis is so great. I wish he survived a bit longer as well, but Louis is so incredible. What a cool guy. What a dope guy.
So are you mad at Trey and do you think he's a snake?
No, I mean like so like Louis in England, so if he's ever here, like I would love to take it with him. We still haven't stayed in touch, but Louis Soto, we would like train and do push-ups together, and me and Louis would actually toss the frisbee a lot. We played the frisbee, so we'd throw it across the camp, like so that was super fun. But yeah, it was fun.
Wow, you're mad at Trey. That's all we can infer.
You fucking hate Trey.
No, I love Trey's my boy.
Wow, I'm messaging him right now. Actually.
Wow,
no,
we're talking.
Trey's my
I'm gonna let him know.
First of all, I love Trey and his mom and his sisters.
Well, you're bringing his family into this. That's crazy.
Yeah, we went to a Cubs game.
Are they electric?
Incredible. We're gonna go out in Chicago this summer. I can't wait. I love Trey. Trey played great. I love Trey. I love Trey's game. It was very Survivor-like, so I loved it.
I have a question.
Yes.
Did Sharky Shoebomb come out at all during this?
It's a great question.
And I'm gonna play what Sharky Shoebomb is for the listeners that don't know.
Sharky Shoebomb is hunting the catfishes, the snakes, and the rats. This is a message for other catfishes. It's shark season, and we're hunting.
Wow, honestly, I forgot that. That was so beautiful.
It gives me chills every time I hear it.
Every time. I
think Sharky Shoebomb definitely was not present this time, I will say. It was more of like Nemo. I just felt like, I hunted catfishes. I got hunted as a catfish. I reached my full circle.
And now you're a lost fish in the lake.
Yeah, the lost fish who found himself through. Yeah, so
through what?
Through what?
One day, but Sharky Shoebomb will forever be part of us. So
Sharky Shoebomb, the catfish hunter, caught a catfish.
That was huge. That's so
let's see. At the next elimination, the one where Gabby goes home, QT and Avery vote for Bree, and you and Gio vote for Tony. What was the thought process behind the vote split?
Yeah, I think the first couple of votes were about voting as a team, and then after that point, it kind of felt like, as long as we're not voting ourselves, you vote individual, it doesn't matter. But for me personally, I love Tony. Tony's my boy, but I caught wind that the very first vote that Tony heard that the votes were going on Avery. So Tony, to protect Avery, threw out my name to his team, apparently.
Oh.
Yeah, as an option. And
whoa.
I was like, I heard this right away, like the first vote, and like Lorenzo and Georgia told me, and even Lexi told me. So that's why I was so close to writing like Tony's name down on the first vote. But I just felt like, you know what, let me vote. Tony's helping us voting with us the first vote. Let me do that. But then, I love Tony, but I just felt like, I think Tony was going to come for me sooner or later. So I was just like, you know what, let me take a vote at him. One vote, we'll see.
Everything I hate in the real world, I just became.
Yeah.
The more and more I hear about...
I didn't want to. I felt, just throw a vote there.
the more and more I hear about Battle Camp, the more and more it just sounds like you have to almost have the strategy that you, QT, Lorenzo, and Georgia had, because you can't throw any names out without it spreading like wildfire around the camp. Like in 2 seconds, like look at the stuff of like Polly too and Trey. Like you can't say anything without it spreading really fast.
100%. And imagine like the three of us are in Battle Camp right now. We're on the same team. At the end of the night, we're all sleeping in the same room. Everything's going to spread right away. Like if you guys had convos with the other team or anything, so you're right. It's like information sharing. I think that was a huge asset and mistake people made in this game, really keeping things close. And like, yeah, for sure. It's like the proximity made info so close to sharing. So keeping it inwards, I think, was huge.
QT told us that there was a period of time where after the voting, everybody could tell each other who they voted for, and then production told everybody to stop. Was this before or after that time?
Yeah, like the voting days were so like electric. Like when we would vote, everyone, there was like an eerie feeling, and you know, people would look at each other differently. And
Chewy doesn't want to talk about this. He received different rules than QT. I understand. I am inferring that if I remember correctly, and based on the story that he told earlier, he did not say this though. This is all based on QT's information, that this was when they were allowed to talk after the vote.
Well, I'll say this. I feel like with the votes, it was very easy to see who voted for who, which was tough, you know?
Right.
Like, I remember like me and Morgan voted for Chase one time, and Chase was doing the math because of the wheel ceremony. What happened a lot is sometimes someone would get a vote, and then Taylor, the host, would be like, "Oh, do you want to guess who it was, or does someone want to like own up to it?" So people will do that one by one. The votes will start to like self-reveal themselves, and you can tell who voted for who. So honestly, I would say most of the time, within an hour, everyone could figure out who voted for who. Maybe there was like a little bit confusion of where it came from, but you could tell where the votes were coming from.
That makes sense. Yeah. At this vote, well, hold on. Where are we? How did you feel? Did you witness? Why didn't you cry when Gabby went home?
I did. I was super close with Gabby. That was another person. Me and Gabby had such an incredible relationship. I love Gabby. I was tearing with her. I felt so bad with her because Gabby was someone I thought was going to make it to the end and win. Like she was and I would have been so happy about that. Such a great person. So fun, was friends with everyone, destroyed it at the challenges, was beloved. I just felt so bad that wheel hit her with one spot, and it was because her team lost. It wasn't even her. So that's sad.
How did you feel when
hashtag Big Nick energy
showed up?
I was stoked, honestly. Like me and Nick were homies in real life, and like the thing is, Nick and me, like I know Nick's style of gameplay. I've seen all his shows, and I'm friends with him. So I'm like, this is huge. Having someone on the other team, like a good friend, this was great. And I don't think people realized that me and Nick were close, which was great. Which is another thing we underplayed. Like, no one really saw the circlers coming together, so that was huge.
Do you think that they didn't see it because they didn't know about the circle, or were you guys just that good at underplaying it?
Well, I don't know. I think it was multiple reasons. I also think Nick came from Perfect Match, so there was like, I think people were like, there was some chatter about the Perfect Match people like Georgia, Chase, and Nick as well. So I think it was because more so Nick was on that team. I also think me and Nick, I don't know. It's hard to say. I think me and Nick kind of kept it more subtle. Like we weren't like with each other all the time. So I think we were trying to like underplay it when we could. So I think it was a combo of everything.
Yeah. Had you known about Nick and Polly's past? Because that caught us off guard.
No, I didn't know about it till I got there. Then I heard about it.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I support it. If they want to do it, I support that.
Did you view it as any sort of a threat in any way?
No, I didn't. And I think from my understanding with both of them, they didn't want to like, I don't think either of them were wanting to do that either, because I think it would just put like an inherent threat on them. So,
was it just shocking to you to learn that Nick was with Polly?
No, it's just shocking. Joey's such like a sweetheart. So for him to kiss her, I feel like my best friend is like, wow.
That's so funny. No, I thought they're both so incredible. So it was natural that their incredibleness would come together. A real estate agent and techie coming together. I love it.
So you guys win the pole position challenge, okay? But afterwards, the Bears, you talk about forming the 6-person alliance with Louis and Trey.
Yeah.
And then you still throw Trey into the punishment.
Yeah.
Tell me about this. Tell us about.
Yeah, I feel bad for both. I actually, in hindsight, I think bringing Louis and Trey into that room was a bad move. Actually, I think that was a sloppy game move. I think all of us, again, I forget what happened there, but I think that was an example of like what not to do in battle camp. I think you have to be more subtle in the strategy, which is like social relationships, but bringing people into a room and being like, the 6 of us are going to work together. That is such a tough thing to commit to because the game is so complicated. And I think I felt bad about the Trey thing after. I think people were thinking just putting him there, he's going to probably win it. So it makes the alliance seem less visible. But yeah, I think that whole thing bringing people over to the cabin was a mistake.
It was like, even if he won, he could still be upset too, right? Like,
yeah, exactly. Like, I think it was tough. I felt for Trey. I understood where Trey was coming from.
And I think so we see afterwards, like right before he goes and talks to Polly, we see him talk to you and be like, are the Bears voting for me? And you say no, and he trusts you. Yeah. It seems that you're kind of the main person that he trusts on that team. Can you talk about your relationship with Trey?
Yeah, no, I love Trey. Me and Trey were friends before. Like, we met before, and I met him and his mom, and I was a huge fan of Trey coming off of his Squid Game. So yeah, me and Trey had a great friendship, and I think me and Trey were friends throughout the whole thing. And yeah, so I would just try to give him a heads up when he could, and he would do the same.
Yeah, because I feel like everybody else, I feel like we see like him come into the cabin and like there's like this group kind of like damage control that fails, like he's still mad, but then you do kind of like the actual damage control for the group to at least get him like not totally irate, you know?
Yeah, no. I mean, I love Trey, and I think the Bears actually like. I think Trey was good with the Bears for at least most of it because like he had a great relationship with QT as well. Like me and QT both like knew him, so for sure.
Well, he was mad when he was on our podcast about that situation. He's still upset about it.
Trey, so, we're gonna go to a Cubs game. That's gonna be
buy him an extra hot dog.
Yeah.
So at this next vote, you vote for Bree while the rest of your team votes for Nick.
Yeah.
Were they aware of this? And if so, was it hard to convince them that it was okay?
Yeah, I felt so bad about the Bree thing. I didn't want Bree to go at all. It was almost like a vote, like she was new. I just felt like, just like I had to throw somewhere so like no one would get mad. And I love Bree. I really didn't think she'd go home with just one vote. Well, she lost as well, so there was another thing. I just felt so bad. The thing is, Nick was my friend, and he's a good friend, and I know everyone is voting for him, and I know several people are coming up to me saying, like, you got to vote Nick, and I was like, oh, I can't do that. Nick's my boy. And why would I do that? It doesn't make sense. Like, Nick's a threat. He's physical. Like, he's going to be a shield for everyone as well. It doesn't make sense to come after him. And he's my homie, so I was just telling people I'm not voting for him, and I kind of like, I feel like in the second half of the game, I really went rogue with my votes. Like people were like, "Oh, let's go do that."
Yeah, you did Chase a bunch.
You voted for Chase 4 times in a row.
4 times. I love Chase. It's so funny. Chase always makes a funny joke. He's like, "Shuby, you voted for me 4 times, but you couldn't vote for me at the end to win." I was like, "Oh, my boy, I love you." But no, again, I love Chase. Chase is another one of my friends from before the show. But the thing is, Chase was a huge physical threat. I think Chase has done so many shows where he's so like. I feel like he's so dope. Like he doesn't even get jaded by a vote as well. He thinks it's kind of funny. So again, like I thought it was just a safe move to throw votes on him. And
it's honestly surprising he didn't catch more votes earlier.
Yeah, you know what? I think Chase. Well, again, I think Chase actually was playing a really good game in there. First of all, he had Georgia like the perfect match relationship, and through that, he could like, his Eagles. He was able to like keep them in like aligned and stuff. So, yeah, I think he was really insulated.
I'm not saying he played strategically like Boston Rob, but I think like relationshiply, like when you get people in line and you just kind of like control them like a little bit with like that dictator type thing, he was doing that like behaviorally. But
he has a natural leadership style.
Yeah, like that kind of thing where you're like, well, this is my group and I'm doing this, and people are kind of like afraid of you. He was doing a little bit.
I mean, he was so good at aligning them, like, and they started to win. So I give Chase props for that because before, like, their team was losing, but as soon as he comes, they start winning. So he must have done something right for sure.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is Chase is the next Boston Rob. He'll be on Traders next.
He'd be like the Spanish Rob because he lives in Spain.
He's gonna be
He lives in Spain?
I think he does part-time because he like fights professionally and stuff. So
is he a 2-time professional athlete? I'm not sure if he mentioned that on the show.
I don't know, but
he played football and he's a fighter.
I don't know,
did he mention that on the show?
Yeah, it was fun though, like because like me and Louis were like the 3 biggest guys in the camp, so it felt good to have people of my like size.
Yeah,
yeah, for sure.
You were their shield.
Yeah, you guys were like the Spider-Man meme, all pointing at each other, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. How did you feel when Kyle and Chase came into the game?
I loved it. I mean, I knew Chase before, so I felt like, okay, there's another relationship I have, which was stoked. Kyle, I felt good about because he was in the circle. I felt there was a natural relationship. QT talked so well about him, so I felt really good about both those guys coming in. And I think they're both big guys, so this is good.
Yeah. And how'd you feel about the new teams, about them not being mixed up? Because we know that you liked being picked last for your threat reduction.
I did. Yeah, I was honestly shocked. It was the exact same team compositions. I thought that was so funny. And I was like, all right, this is good. I know these people. I feel like it makes the game less complicated, so let's go.
Okay,
in the spelling challenge, did you throw the challenge?
No, I didn't throw it. No, I really didn't. Because I don't see the advantage of throwing it because the thing is, if you throw it, your name's on the wheel. You could also be up for punishment, and your team could see that you're throwing it, and you're susceptible to votes. There's no win with throwing it at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because even if you win, I think at that point your team could actually still get votes on. So there's no advantage to throwing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Why do you think they thought that QT threw it, but not you?
No, I feel so bad for QT. Much love, sister.
R.I.P.
That day I was super sick. I was like really sick. I was throwing up. So I don't know if that impacted it, but I really don't know. I can't answer that. I don't know why. I think maybe, I don't know. It's a good question.
Did it ever feel like the Avery QT sort of rivalry was brewing before that moment, and it sort of just came out through that incident?
I think before, the thing is, Avery and QT are both strategic forces.
Yeah.
So it's like when you have 2 forces like that coming together, I think it was, I don't know. There were no signs before, I would say, but I think during then, that whole day with the spelling bee, I thought was a huge mistake. I love Avery. I love QT. I just felt like, I felt so bad. I just wish we spelled those words right because none of that implosion would happen then.
Was it a Highlander situation? Like there can only be one, at this point?
Yeah, that's fun. I like that reference. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I guess that's what happened in a way.
Yeah. Do you think that they refused to believe that you could throw a challenge because, like, you're their beautiful angel boy who could do no wrong? Like, everybody kind of idealizes this idea of you as
pure.
Like we need to view Shuby as pure, so we know that there is a good aspect of humanity, because if
you gotta
Shuby,
keep the balances of good and evil intact.
If Shuby did something wrong, what is the point of having a society?
What's the point of life? Yeah,
that's so funny. That's so. No, I really, again, this question, I genuinely, I actually can't. I don't know. But I will say I'm grateful for everyone. Was so nice to me the whole time. Everyone was so fun. It was sick. So it was great.
Are you an angel baby boy?
I am an angel baby boy.
That's rhetorical, obviously.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I can't answer that, but I am.
That is such a relief. But I knew
that. That's so funny.
Just had to confirm.
Yes. So you already told us about QT and Avery, what you thought about it. Did you have fun with Nick discussing the probability together of the wheel?
Yeah, that was so fun. It was like our gladiator out Coliseum meeting of the mind. You know, I love the bantering. That's our banter, like our Love Island banter is us throwing percentages out there with like the wheel ceremony. So it felt good to like have, you know, bounce off percentages.
Who's better at math?
I love math.
UCLA or MIT?
Whoa! We bringing the universities into this?
Yeah.
You know,
Bruins versus the MIT calculator.
What's the MIT
Calculators.
I don't know.
Computers?
The math of love. I don't know.
They're both sick and electric. Yeah,
How'd
yeah,
you
we
know?
get it.
Yeah. Let's say Nick.
Okay. Very diplomatic. You know, we know you love Nick. Okay, we got the fucking picture. I looked at MIT's mascot, by the way. It's
what is it?
Tim the Beaver. What the fuck?
Oh, they're the Beavers.
Oh, that's
Tim
cool.
the Beaver at MIT.
That's sick.
That's sick. This next elimination, the one where Avery and Gio go home. Yeah, you just start voting for Chase.
Great.
Yeah, I feel bad.
Everyone is thinking all these strategies, and you're like, Chase.
Yeah, Chase is my boy. He was just a physical threat. He was the leader on the other team. I also felt like with Chase there, like there were so many people that were being connected because of Chase, right? The perfect match people were connecting with, like Lorenzo and Paulie. So I just felt like, and Chase was like super cool about it. I feel like he wouldn't take it personal. So I felt like I don't get blood on my hands by just throwing him off Chase.
Yeah, the only things Chase takes personal is before he got there when Trey betrayed Louis.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he takes nothing personal except for random things that happened when he wasn't there.
Do you think he took that personally, Shuby, or do you think he was just using it as a means to of strategy?
Good question. I think both for sure.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I think both. Yeah.
What do you think about like the treatment of Trey in general by a lot of the people on Battle Camp?
I mean, I love Trey. I really love Trey. I thought he was an incredible competitor. I think
he's
Trey showed a lot of
electric.
resilience because his back was against the wall the whole time. I think, I think Trey just lost his footing in the beginning. If obviously that Louis thing didn't happen, I think the game would have been so different for Trey. I think he just lost his footing, so it was kind of like him just trying to come back to it. But I don't know. I think Trey just struggled to find like a group he could work with, but I think he found like he had me in QT. But
I think what Max is asking, Shuby, is what do you think about the fact that players were trying to make it an ethical issue of playing a harder game? Or making it seem like Trey had stabbed his best friend in the back, even though he was just trying to get through another vote.
Yeah, it was, everyone was so great. Everyone was trying to do the best they could do given the circumstances. But I love Trey. I'm proud of Trey. I think he played a great game.
This is so weird that you don't want to at least talk about this because I think that you have an interesting perspective.
I know you do, yeah.
Because I treat these games light. Like for me, like I play these games super light. So I always come into the idea that anything you want to play is there's no right way to play the game. There's no wrong way to play the game. If you want to treat it emotionally, for sure. If you want to treat it super strategic, go for it. So
okay,
me,
well, how about this? How did you personally feel about Trey's moves?
I thought it was fun. I thought Trey was fighting to survive, and I think Trey played the game he did to survive, not to. Trey didn't play a game to control everyone. Trey played a game to survive, which is what I understood.
Yeah.
So I respected Trey's game, and I was proud of his resilience.
Okay. Yeah, that's all we want. We just want to know like how you felt about like how games are played and stuff. That's fine. So sorry, we're not trying to grill you, by the way. We don't want you to feel.
I love it.
Okay.
You grilling.
Okay. We would still want to be friends after this. We would
I can't wait. We gotta run it again.
Yes.
Absolutely.
At the next vote, what did you think about Kyle's plan to get Trey on the Bears side, but then tell Chase exactly what happened?
It was so. I mean, Kyle was trying. I give him props for that. Yeah, I think I don't remember if I did this, but we had like a little bear ceremony for Trey where we'd be like, we dubbed the a bear. So it was. I think it was a smart idea to try to get Trey on our side. I think Kyle and Chase's relationship though was scary.
Yeah.
Bit of a wild card. Yeah.
At the next vote, Morgan is eliminated. Then the next day, Kyle is about to go strategize, and you encourage him to keep his conversations encrypted.
Yeah.
Do you think he did so?
I don't know. At least he tried. You know what I mean? We got to encrypt that. Those conversations with Kyle, Morgan, and Keith about encryption were so funny. Those were so funny.
I was like, I don't think that's gonna happen.
But like, not to defend. I do think Battle Camp is a game of encryption. You know, encrypt the highest order.
How many factors are we?
Seven degrees. Of
seven multi-factors. Wow.
Yeah, 7.
Do you think that there was like any strategy you could have done to win the slingshot competition?
No, I mean, it was honestly a super close one. Like, we won the first one. The second one, the third round, it was close. I think the only thing we could have done is Kyle was so tired from the first one, which I understand, is if me and QT switched at the very third one. But again, I think the slingshot, she was killing it, and it's like a learning curve, so it made sense for me to run. I don't know. We were close. It was a close one, but
yeah, I think I don't like how people didn't have to sit out, and you guys just had to keep like tiring yourselves out every challenge. That was rough.
I honestly thought the first round when we won, I thought we won. I forgot there was like another round. I was like,
yeah,
what's up? Who's coming to the Bears cabin now?
Yeah. After the slingshot challenge, we get this moment where Kyle tells you that you are voting for Trey in front of Chase. I think you say this is messy.
Yeah.
So he says this in front of Chase and basically in front of Trey. Yeah. And when Trey asks you what's up, you lie to him, but you also kind of warn him in what Trey describes as, quote, your own Shuby way.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about your own Shuby way?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was. I see. The thing is, I just tried to be a little more subtle. But the thing is, like, if people were in trouble, I tried to like tell them, like, oh, you should go talk to people. You know, try to tell them in the best way I could. And I thought the only way to solve it is really just talk to people. With Trey, it was so awkward because Chase and Kyle were here. Trey was like 15 feet here, and it's like they're both asking me what the others are saying. So I tried to give Trey a heads up saying like you should go talk to people, and I was trying to look at him and like look into his soul, but I think he got the like message.
Yeah, when we had Trey on, he basically said he was able to decode enough.
Yeah, I mean, Trey's a smart guy, so I thought he would be able to, and I thought it also protected me because I knew Chase and Kyle were looking right at us.
He used the 7-factor encryption on your message and was able to learn he was in trouble.
He used multi-factor, and he's killed it with that.
Yeah. I feel like we've gotten your own Shuby way a little bit throughout this podcast. We've
a lot of encryption.
Yeah, a lot of encryption today.
I think we're really good at encrypting.
Yeah. Let's talk about this general knowledge punishment.
Yeah.
We saw that one of the questions was, how tall is the Empire State Building?
Who knows that?
Who knows that?
I know, that was tough, right? That's a tough question. That's a tough question.
Did you think that you were going to win this? Were you worried? Like, what were you thinking?
No, I honestly thought QT was going to win it because QT's so intelligent. And I thought when I was doing the quiz, I was choking. Like, I was freaking out with the questions in there. Like, I couldn't concentrate because I'm like, oh, no, another vote. So I thought I choked, and I thought QT is so smart. So I thought she was going to win it.
Yeah. Well, you knew some very impressive things, like who the 46th president was. That was
the closest star.
The closest star, which was that was very good. Yes. Were there any random questions that like we didn't see on the show? We saw like identify this country, circle the adjective. Do you remember anything random?
Yeah, one of the questions was which character from The Wizard of Oz wanted a heart? That was a fun one.
Oh, okay.
Do you guys know that one?
The Tin Man.
Tin Man, of course.
No, maybe it wasn't the heart. It was Who Wanted the Brain.
That would be
The Scarecrow.
Scarecrow, that was it. Yeah, I think that was it. Yeah. That was a fun one.
And the lion wanted courage.
Yeah, the lion one had courage. There was a obviously the one with there was like an icon with Barbie, so like there's a R and a B. There was one that was like, what's the like anti-penultimate letter of the alphabet or some long phrase?
Pre-anti-penultimate.
Yeah. Right.
I got it wrong, but did you guys know that one? That one was interesting.
Yeah, I did. I just figured, you take each prefix and go backwards that many times.
Yeah, that makes sense. No,
I did with a lot of time, but I think when you're on the clock, that would be significantly trickier.
Yeah, because you're like,
you're not going to take your time to.
I think QT say that if you and her did tie, it would have come down to who did it fastest.
Yeah, and she would have won because I took the whole time and she didn't. So she got question, she would have won.
Let's get to so how did you feel when Kyle went home at the next ceremony?
I felt sad. I felt really sad. We lost the circular. One love. Kyle was dope. I loved Kyle. He played hard. He tried his best.
You didn't look sad. You and QT seemed kind of like relieved.
No, I was sad. Kyle's a good friend. He's so dope. It was sad to see him leave.
You have an interesting way of expressing sadness.
We were sad. No, we were both really sad. That was so good. Yeah. No, I would say it was sad to lose Kyle. It was sad to lose Morgan as well. I loved them both. So Morgan's so great.
How did you feel when it became an individual game?
I felt good. I mean, at that point we needed it because it was like me and QT versus like 4 of them, or 6 of them, right? So I'm like, we needed something to shake it up. Yeah. So I think the fact they said individual, that felt good because it felt like it took some heat away from me and QT, where it was like, okay, these kids are gonna gang up on us. It felt like, okay, now people are looking more at like who's the biggest holistic threat.
You also don't have to run through challenges like 2 or 3 times.
I know it would have been fun. Yeah. Though. I mean, I think it would have been funny to see 2 of us against 6 of them. But
is holistic your word of the day?
I thought about it. I feel like it has to be encrypt. I think encrypt is the way.
Okay.
I think it's
word of the week.
Yeah.
Or electric, maybe.
Yeah. Electric. Yeah.
Top 3 holistic.
Yeah. For the nighttime challenge, why did you go for the flint and steel?
Yeah, this was a mistake. I thought my thinking was people are going to be faster kayakers than me, and if they're faster than me, I assume they're going to go to the further ones out. So I can't beat them if I go to the second or third one with them. I thought the Hail Marys, if I go to the closest one, I get to the fire first, and I'll have let's say I'll have seconds ahead of them. So with the first mover advantage, I can just get a fire out there and going, but that was wrong. There was really never a flint choice. It was only 2 choices, and I picked the wrong choice.
Had you ever used a flint and steel before?
I have used a flint and steel before. This one was so tough. This one was tough.
Were you inspired by Survivor?
I was. I thought that was fun. Me, Trey, and QT were stoked about it.
Yeah, you guys.
I was going to say, you guys were a little too excited for this.
Yeah.
And then you all realized how hard it was.
Yeah.
This is sick. Yes. You're all like, hey, dio. Guys, fires are life in this game.
I got chills when you said that. Yeah, I felt it.
And then afterwards, you were remembering the horrors of Cook Islands and the final fire making challenge. That went on for 13 hours.
With Becky and
Sandra.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was. Oh my god.
They couldn't even do it with matches.
Was that 13 hours?
It was some ridiculous amount of time. They were there for a long time.
I actually wonder. Yeah, that was wild.
All the jury was falling asleep and everything.
I know. I remember that. They were and I remember there was one frame where Ozzy's just like.
Yes.
Yes, so mad. Yeah.
That season was so great.
I love that season.
Yeah.
Are you guys watching this current season?
No, I heard that people. I heard that it's very kumbaya, right? That's the whole thing about it.
I think it's a very relationship based season though.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It's really good.
I'll watch when 50 happens. The new era is a little tough for me, But
50 will be dope. 50 will
I'm
be dope.
excited for 50.
I
It's
would-
filming this summer, right? It should be.
I
isn't it?
actually don't know, but I heard it's coming. So
Yeah, it should be filming this summer.
Oh, let's say
48's going, yeah. Here's fun. So Survivor has a should we hear two-part question. First part. So Survivor has a 3-part slogan, which is
outwit, outplay, outlast.
and what is the battle camp slogan?
We'll see.
We'll see.
It's
Oh, oops. Yeah. Unhateable, unbreakable, unbeatable.
Oh, you know it. Okay.
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. That was very impressive because QT couldn't do it.
That's so funny. Oh no, she could.
When we can do it either. Can you tell us about your flamethrower?
Yeah, it was more of like a
Ooh.
spiritual flamethrower, but I was thinking more like when I said that, it was a bit of a hyperbole, but I was thinking more of like one of those lighters you can get from like a gas station.
So a lighter.
But it could be like a flamethrower in some context because some of those flames go super high. And I have a flamethrower in like GTA. I think there's like a cheat code. I can get a flamethrower. I should have brought my flamethrower.
What else are you lying about?
I wasn't. First of all, I need my flamethrower for you right now. You know. No, listen. There's that, I'll show you one day, and you'll be like, "Wow, oh my god, this is crazy."
Did you throw the hanging from the rope punishment?
Oh, the one with me, Nick, and Trey.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I actually really wanted to win that. That one was the one I was so annoyed about because I could have gone longer. I know I could have gone longer. I lost my grip and my shoes were just a little bigger than the knot. I should have like not worn shoes, but I honestly think I could have won that one. But I also knew that it's crazy because I was in between Trey and Nick, and I know those were the two people were going after. And it was crazy because on the double elimination where they both went home, I was between both their red spots that got hit, which was crazy.
Ooh.
It was like premonition.
How did you feel about Nick and Trey being eliminated from a game standpoint?
I felt sad. I mean, they both were my good allies and they were both threats. So I would have loved to have them both in the finale because I didn't know the structure at that point. So I felt sad that both were good friends and both were like people I could work with in the end. And I think I could have gotten votes from both of them, honestly.
Yeah, I was thinking about that because you don't know what the structure is. So either way, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this ice bath challenge. This is the main reason we wanted to interview you.
Oh, I love it. Thank you guys.
Yeah. So in the final, we have the ice bath punishment. You said this.
This water is subterranean, freezing cold water that destroys everything good in your body.
Tell us about this.
Yeah, what's the science behind this?
Yeah, I just at that moment I was like, props to our whole generation that loves ice baths. Not for me at the moment. So it felt like I don't know, those ice baths are tough. I never did one, so doing it for the first time, it's like whoa, it's like rad. It's rad.
But the science, what is subterranean water?
It felt very Arctic like Antarctica.
Okay.
So subterranean, like sub of Antarctica terrain.
And then it destroys everything good in your body.
The warmth. You know what I mean? The heat and the warmth, the light.
What about like your liver or your kidneys?
No, I wouldn't say that's more functional. I'd say good is like warmth.
This is holistic. I understand now.
Oh, okay.
Electric. This is electric.
Now, did you train? Did you train for this by turning the hot water in the shower to like lukewarm?
You know what?
Explicitly
Explicitly not, but maybe subconsciously I did. Because like when I changed from hot to cold, there was a couple seconds in some showers where it gets a little colder than I'd like. So maybe this is my mind telling me to train for it.
There you go.
Yeah, the training helped you last 18 seconds in the punishment.
Well, it was 17, so who's counting? You know what I mean?
But hey, walking that extra mile, that was worth it, I think.
I know. I think so.
I think it gave you an extra 5 seconds.
I think so. Again, I think that was the thing where I should have that one was tough because like breathing under freezing water is tough, but YOLO.
YOLO.
Yep.
For the pedometer punishment, you talked about a bunch of different strategies. One of them was shuffling and how it's all in the hips. Can you talk about that part of this?
Yeah, I just felt like everyone was so much faster with like rep going up and down. So I'm like, I'm not gonna beat these people by doing it this way. And they weren't. I noticed people weren't even like covering a lot of land. They were like almost staying in like very close to each other. They weren't covering a lot of the camp. So I felt like, okay, I can't beat them at their own game. The only way I'm gonna beat them, I don't even know if the pedometer is gonna register this, is by me covering more land than everyone. So I focused more on like horizontal, and then I also focused on moving my whole body instead of just going up and down like everyone was. So I kept the body really rigid and or moving a lot, and I also just kept it like changing up a little bit of that stuff. So yeah, that's what I focused on. I felt like I couldn't beat it their way, so I just tried to do it my way.
You said, I feel like we're playing tic-tac-toe.
Yeah.
How does that apply to this?
X's and O's.
Okay.
Yeah, so like X and O. Some get X's, some get O's.
Did you just say random bullshit?
No, I honestly think I forget the tic-tac-toe thing, but I think it was relevant to that challenge. So I viscerally deny your claim.
What is trudging?
Trudging is like you're trudging in the mud. You know, you're trudging through
okay.
Like,
hard times.
You kept talking about trudging. It was so funny. Everyone is like, I gotta keep pace, and you're just like, I gotta trudge my tic-tac-toe.
Yeah, I'm trudging through this mud.
Yeah, it's like we're dancing and tic-tac-toeing.
I will tell you, when I won that one, when I got second, people were shocked. Like the finalists, you should have seen their faces. People were shocked. Like even I was stunned. I thought I was getting last, and then I was like, whoa. It was like magic was discovered or something. Like you could hear like what in the background.
But he got picked last. That's not fair.
I know. Well, you know what it was? It's like I just feel like there's threats that are outward, but they don't see the real threats till the very end.
I love that.
The smallest threat. I was the biggest one.
I like that.
No, I'm just
that's very cocky.
I wasn't the biggest threat. I just came up with that on the spot. I thought it sounded nice.
Very cocky.
We'll have to cut that, so we'll edit that.
I've never known this arrogant side of you. You know?
Yeah, well, you know what? It's the bad boys coming out.
Oh shit!
So sick.
Come on!
Come on!
So was being completely honest during the bluff challenge a strategy to maybe get votes later for like being honest?
Well, yeah, I mean it was two things, right? Like Polly, it was multiple things. Me and Polly and Lorenzo were friends, so the friend part of me didn't want to lie to them. Also, secondly, I felt like this game doesn't end after this challenge. So like you said, me lying will have huge ramifications towards the end of this game. I still don't know what the rest of the game's looking like. So and I felt like, all right, let me just tell the truth. I thought they're my friends, and I also thought from a game perspective, this is going to benefit me more in the long run, for sure.
Did you think what happened might happen, that Lorenzo wouldn't be able to read you because you're so encrypted?
I thought there was a chance of that. Yeah, I did. So that's why I wasn't, like, obviously I wanted him to get the point, but I also felt like, okay, this is actually in my favor, so.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that Lorenzo was also honest to Polly? Do you think that was also a strategic move to potentially get votes at the end?
I think Lorenzo meant it, like, from his heart. He was just,
okay.
You know, we both felt for Polly. But again, I also think it like goes hand in hand. It's a good move because this game doesn't end after this challenge. It's a very short, like, I think lying in this game is very short-term thinking, right?
Yeah.
So you want to, like, find the best path for both long-term and short-term.
Yeah, I didn't think betraying at that point would be good, especially with such a small pool of people to actually vote for you.
Yeah,
and not knowing how the final wheel was going to work too.
Yeah, you just don't know. Yeah, the game perspective. Yeah.
How did you feel about the way that votes broke down in the final, with everybody kind of just voting off in pairs?
I like that. It was good. I felt like no one got left behind. So I thought if the wheel was choosing things, which was kind of in a way chance, but not, because like you earned your spot on the wheel. I felt like it was good that everyone got a name on the vote, so that was good.
How'd you feel about Lorenzo winning? Do you love Lorenzo?
Yeah, I was stoked for Lorenzo. Lorenzo was so dope. I always tell Lorenzo this, like, I'm proud of him because he is who he is. Like, Lorenzo's so different from like the traditional person like you see on these shows, and he is who he is. And I'm just happy for his arc from like Squid Games all the way to here. He was a great friend. He was a great competitor. I thought Lorenzo, great social game, and I thought he did well in the challenges and punishments. So thought he really played a great game. So I was happy for him.
Yeah, we thought he was like a really fun and great winner too. Yeah.
And it was unexpected.
Best fashion, best dressed.
Yeah, for sure.
And like you said too, his arc from Squid Game too. That's kind of what you want with like the whole Netflix reality universe.
Yeah,
the redemption moments, things like that.
Yeah, no one like I even loved him from his first one, but I know for him like this arc was a really cool arc for. I really liked it for Lorenzo.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't want to like
painted as a villain in Squid Game.
Yeah.
So.
Like he was incredible, so I was happy. Yeah,
and he didn't want to like go home ery again, you know. So good for him. Like
Lorenzo played a great game. I really loved his confessionals where it's like my favorite confessional of his is like, okay, the Lorenzo in me would like say something, but you know what? I learned my lesson, so I'm really just gonna have to hold my tongue in. So I thought that was really clever, like really thoughtful what he was thinking this time.
Yeah. Can you talk about this?
Call me Shu Win, because I want to win.
What's the pun here?
You know what? I will say, as far as the puns go, this was on the weaker side, but I was thinking about winning. You know, I was like, I'm gonna eat breakfast. I gotta win. Lunch, win. Dinner, maybe win. So I was like, you know what? Shu Win. I could have come up with a better one, so I appreciate you bringing that up, but that was a mistake. I should have come up with a more better pun.
Yes. So, Shuby, it's been great having you today. Do you have plans?
No.
Would you like to go? Not did you have current plans? But would you like to, if offered in the future, would you go on more Netflix reality shows?
Yeah, absolutely. I've had the time of my life doing them. They're such adventures. I've had the time of my life doing it. These are like they're so fun. So I would love to do them. I'll do more. Absolutely, I would love to.
Is that why you're so political on our podcast? Because of future things that you're like basically pre-gaming for any future shows.
I thought the end questions are supposed to be sweet. These are like
we want the truth.
We trudged through all the tough stuff and like, the rainbow.
We're trudging.
No, honestly, no. That's I genuinely how I feel good. I felt good about this interview. This was so great.
No, we do too. We do too.
Which shows on Netflix that you haven't done do you have your eye on that you would like to do?
They're so great. All of them are so great. I really love what they're doing with all those shows. So,
I mean, a lot of these other ones are dating shows. You would never do a dating show, would you? Or would you?
Competition and adventure. I love those. Like those are like, so spirit, and the real estate ones are so great. Like the ensemble ones. So yeah.
Would you want to be on one of the real estate shows as a realtor?
I love like real estate, so that could be cool. Like
we got to get you on Selling Sunset as one of the realtors.
You love real estate?
And Chrishell.
Yeah, that'd be sick. I love Chrishell, but yeah.
Have you met Chrishell?
Yeah, I met her. She's so amazing. She's so amazing.
Oh my god, you guys got to collab more.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
I'd like to see you on Traders, Shuby. That would be sick.
Traders is fun. Traders is really fun.
I think you do really well. Yeah.
Oh, really?
How do you think you do though as a trader?
No, I love that show. I love it all. So it's so fun. But yeah, that show is so fun. It was so good. I love that. I watched the recent season. To answer your question, I don't know. I really don't know. Here's the thing, you just never know with anything until it happens. But
yeah, it's not like you would have to play a woman as a trader.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Like
I'm not a fucking man.
I'm not a man. Oh my god. I'm just happy I didn't do any revolutions this time, so knock on wood.
We would have liked that a lot, man.
Oh, it would have been great.
I know.
Revolt in the Bears.
Message. I'm not a fucking man. What part of me is timid? I literally had to get rid of someone in front of everyone and defend myself multiple times. I've shown I'm way more than a timid girl. Don't ever use that word on me again. Send.
Wow, that's a long
mic
explanation.
drop.
Caught it.
We got it all.
We got it.
Chills. I got chills.
Yeah, I definitely think you're our most soundbited person.
That means a lot. No, you guys my day one, so that's an honor.
Yeah. We really do love you, Shuby, and we really do appreciate
you're the
you
best.
taking your
Yeah.
time to be with us.
No, you go
We really view you as like the face of like the Netflix reality universe. Like no joke. We really do. And you're such a nice guy too, and it's very genuine. You're a very good guy. So
No,
we appreciate you giving your time to us coming on the pod.
No, absolutely. Again, I'm such a big fan of you guys. You guys have been such great friends over the years, and like, yeah, I love watching your commentary about all the shows you guys cover, especially Battle Camp and the Circle. So it's my pleasure to be here with you folks, and can't wait to kick it in person.
Yes.
Hell yes.
I'm sure there'll be more LA events for us to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think there's like some Survivor stuff coming up.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
I'll show up and pretend that I watched it.
Yeah, you could.
The fire thing and the when they had to put the puzzles together.
Yeah. Like, where's Ozzy? I thought he's in the final for our trial.
Well, Shuby, where can people find you if they want to find you places in the internet and stuff?
I'm on LinkedIn, so just my name, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, X, whatever you guys want. Whatever you guys want, or in the heart.
Are the profiles encrypted? Are we going to be able to get in to see them?
You should, but encrypt always, folks. Encrypt.
Always encrypt, guys. You heard it here. You heard it here first. You gotta encrypt. Okay, bye everyone.
Okay.
Bye everyone.
It's the place you go when you finish your show. We're your two best friends. Our names are Max and Ben. We're self-proclaimed television experts. It's Reality Alert.
Let's see what old chap governor